Hey everyone, so this is the tutorial on my infinity rotation insert, and it is a very complicated movable element. So if you have any other questions after you view this and purchase this, just feel free to write me and I'll try to walk you through it. Now the first things that you're going to need are, you definitely need a ruler. I recommend using a long one and a short one for the little stuff. You're going to need a compass. Now a compass, please do not use the plastic ones, okay? Because we're not going to do any kind of measuring on the actual compass. That's what rulers are for. So I highly recommend good old-fashioned metal one. They work the best, they're very good, and they're cheap. You're also going to need a stylus. I got this from the Dollar Tree, so you can use any kind of stylus. I do recommend one that does have the small ball on the end, because that is a little bit smaller than, say, a bone fold or another folding tool that you may get with a punch board or scoring pad. You're also going to need a pencil or a pen and an X-Acto knife and maybe some scissors. Most of the stuff I do is going to be with an X-Acto knife. So let's get started. And I almost forgot, of course, you're going to need glue. I use Crafter's Pick Ultimate Glue, and I put them in these icing bottles. You can actually leave it without a lid on, and see, it doesn't leak. Any kind of glue is fine. I just don't recommend glue sticks or Elmer's glue. They come unstuck. You need something that adheres to not only paper, but will last a little bit longer, and stuff like Crafter's Pick Ultimate, even Beacon's 3-in-1 will last a while longer than that. So what we're going to start with first is, we have a lot of pieces to this movable element, and I have my little templates here, but I'm going to show you how to make this from scratch, so don't worry. I just want to show you this first. So here we have our little middle part. I call this the middle part, okay? And as you can see, all of this is also in centimeters. So here, this is the base part. Now I have written all over mine the measurements, so that way you have them and everything. This is actually 2 pieces. I prefer to do it in 2 pieces instead of 1, simply because it's just easier to measure. And what I do, this is the tail piece, and you'll see what we're going to do with this. This is 7 centimeters by 3 centimeters. You fold it, score this at 1 centimeter, and we stick it on the back of this. This will be the piece that you actually will see on the top. So if you have to write on it, you know, to get the correct coordinates and everything like that, make sure it's in a pencil, so that way you can erase it. You can stick something kind of over this before we put it together, and I'll let you know where you can do that. This will be our second piece here. Notice we have these sections A, B, and C. And when we get to this, I'll let you know why. And again, these are all in centimeter. Then we will have these other pieces here. This is the propeller. This is the magic that makes it continuously rotate. And again, when we get to this piece, I'm going to show you how to do it. And of course, our hub. Looks crazy now, but don't worry. When we get to it, you'll see exactly how it works. And then our final piece is this little tab right here. This is 2 centimeters by 5.5 centimeters. And I'll show you what this is for. So the first piece we're going to work with is our base piece right here. So what you're going to do, and we're going to do this together. So I'm going to set this right here as our reference, and we are going to get just some yellow cardstock. Any color's fine, whatever you want. This is the cardstock I'm using. I got this from Hobby Lobby. It's the Paper Studio. Here's the number. I didn't pay that. Don't ever pay full price for paper. And this is good thick cardstock. I tried to look on here to see what the pounds were, but it doesn't say. It's the kind that looks like canvas paper that has the cross hatching on it. So just get any paper you want. So I'm going to just pick a yellow piece because it's yellow. Why not match it up? So I'm going to move all of our little tools here to the side. And the first thing we want to do is we want to cut this paper 19.5 centimeters by 9 centimeters. So I'm going to get my paper trimmer here. And this folds out. Remember the centimeter side. Centimeters is actually easier to use. It's pretty, you don't have to worry about quarters and stuff like that, really, and trying to figure it out. So that makes it a little bit easier. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it 19.5, which is right about there. Always save your scrap pieces. By 9. And that's the first part. We'll also cut our little reinforcement piece here, which is 3 by 7. I'm going to do 7 centimeters and 3 centimeters. And if you don't have a scoring pad, just use a ruler, measure 1 centimeter from the edge, and then score it. What I like to do here is use my trimmer, and where this line is, that's my scoring edge. So I'm going to take this, take my score, and I'm just going to very lightly do 1 centimeter. Right there. Just like that. And you're just going to take this, fold it over. You may want to use a bone fold. If you don't have one, use your ruler. Just like this. And we're going to wait to attach this to make sure that we have it right in the middle where we need it. So let me set that to the side. Now, here we have 19.5. That's our paper here. So what we want to do is we want to split it in half like this. Again, this is the top part, so you want to use a pencil. I wrote it in a pen so you could see it. So the tricky part is getting this circle centered. The circle is 1.5 centimeters, and from this side to the edge of the circle, from here to here, is about 9 centimeters and 9 centimeters. So let's split this in half using our ruler. The compass I got came in a kit, and it is on Amazon. I actually bought it for my daughter for her geometry, and it works really well. So our total paper is 19.5. So all you have to do is just split it in half. That should be 9 3/4. Can I get my pencil here? And 9 3/4 is about right there. I'm just going to put a little mark there. Little mark there. Now let's cut it in half this way. And this is 9 centimeters, so it's going to be 4.5 centimeters. now we have our middle part right here. So what we want to do, this is why a little ruler comes in handy. We need a 1.5 centimeter circle. So what you're going to do is you're just going to put this right at 0.75, and I'm just going to put a little mark here and here. This right here will be your radius, so your radius will be 0.75 right there, about right there, about right there. And you want to take your compass, put the pointy end in the middle, adjust, okay, so now we have our circle, and we're going to use our X-Acto knife, and we're going to cut this out. And don't worry, the circle doesn't have to be perfectly there we go, just like that. So from here to here, right at the edge of the circle, should be 9 centimeters, and from here to here should be 9 centimeters. Now what we're going to do is we need to make a knot. Another tool you probably should have, not necessary, you can do it without, is a circle punch. Okay, this is a 1-inch circle punch. You can get them on Amazon. You just want to stick it about in the middle. See the line? Use it to line it up. And you just want to punch about that much off. It's just so you can pull the tab out. Now, what we're going to do is we have to do this slit that's right here. This is where our tab's going to come through, so we can pull it this way. And that distance from here to here is 2.5 centimeters. So from here, right here where this line starts, from here to the edge is 2.5 centimeters. This whole length is 3.5 centimeters. This is about 0.4. But you want to draw the line first. And you can actually use this as a good gauge. You want about, probably about 1 centimeter, half a centimeter on both sides. Just about. So that's a good gauge. So I'm going to use the edge of this right here, and I'm going to go out about 2.5 centimeters. And then our length here needs to be 3.5 centimeters. We're going to make it right about here. Just like that. I know it's a lot of extra writing, but it's a lot easier to get the measurements correct. So there is our 3.5 centimeter. Then what you can do, you just draw a little bit over like this. Just like that. And we're going to take our X-Acto knife and we're going to cut that out. Now you can erase all this. And then we are going to put our tab here. I'm going to make it kind of flush in the middle, just like that. And it's going to bend towards this way. Fold that over just like that, and there is our first part, our base right there. Not too bad. Alright, so we're ready for the second part. This one is the complicated one. Okay, so this size paper is also 19.5 by 8 3/4 centimeter. So I'm going to get this other paper. Let's cut this. We're going to go 19.5. By 8 3/4. Okay, so the first thing what we're going to do is we have to divide this into the 3 sections, first and foremost. This will make it easier to have a good accuracy on the middle opened windows. So I'm going to use a pen for this part because this is not going to be seen. So if you want to use a pen, go right ahead. So we're going to measure 2 centimeters, then 3.5, and the last one will measure 3 1/4. And we're going to do this on the other side. Two. Three and a half, and 3 1/4. Okay, so here we have section C, B, and A. Okay, now the first thing we need to do is we have to construct the first box right here. We are going to measure from